Hi everyone, this is Soumyajit this side. Welcome back to another video in my channel. आज के वीडियो में हम डिस्कस करने वाले हैं स्टार्टअप्स वर्सेस एमएनसीज के बारे में. In today's video, I have discussed in extreme detail everything there is to know about a startup as well as an MNC or a big established product-based company. Here, I have compared the two on the basis of their compensation philosophy, compensation structure, the type of money that they give to their employees, stability, work culture, the type of work that is expected out of you, as well as the exposure that you get. And last but not the least, the brand. If you are someone who is very interested to know about the basic differences between a startup and a big established product-based company, or maybe are contemplating an offer between the two, then you have landed on the right video. Now, before starting, I must say the like target of this video is 1.5 thousand likes. So go ahead and smash the like button, subscribe to the channel if you have not already, hit the notification bell and share it among your friends and peers. Now, without further ado, let's get started. Getting a good job is difficult, and it is even more difficult if you do not have a great resume or you have a break in your resume. But what if I told you you can absolutely get a job without the use of your resume and solely on the basis of your skills? You must be thinking that I'm kidding, but I am not. Let's take example of Harshit. Harshit recently quit his job in lockdown to take care of himself as well as his family. But when he was ready to join the workforce again, he was finding it absolutely difficult to get interview calls. So what he did? He basically logged into the platform known as Relevel by Unacademy and gave the free backend development test that they have. On the basis of scores that he got in that particular test, companies approached him, he cracked their interviews and got a mind-boggling 273% hike over his previous income. So Relevel Select लेके आया है India's biggest job fair between 15th to 19th June. What you need to do? You need to book your test slot. It is completely free of cost. Go ahead and give the test, get a score, and on the basis of the scores, companies will approach you direct. Daily toppers will get up to 30,000 rupees in Amazon gift cards. Even toppers will get Apple goodies like iPhone, MacBook, iWatch, and much more. This particular Relevel test is open for 18 different categories, including software development, back-end, front-end, HR, sales, marketing, and much more. So what are you waiting for? Go to the link in the description below or in the pinned comment and book your test slot right now. Now we will start with compensation philosophy. With respect to startups as well as big established product-based companies, there are a few notable differences. If we take an example of Apple, Amazon, Facebook, Google, the compensation structure typically consists of three major components. Number one is the base salary, number two is the performance bonus which you get once in a year, and number three are company stocks or company shares that is given to you. On the other hand, the compensation structure of any startup typically consists of the base salary as well as the performance bonus. And very few startups do give something that is known as ESOPs or employee stock options plan. If you do not have any idea of what ESOPs are and how they function, then you should refer to my video where I have explained it in complete detail, everything there is to know about ESOPs. Now, typically speaking, startups tend to provide a much higher base salary and lower ESOPs. On the other hand, a big established product-based company will pay you lesser amount of base salary in most use cases, but a much higher amount of company stocks. So I would highly urge you, if you have offers from a startup as well as an established product-based company, then do not just judge the offers on the basis of their base salary. Because in case of established product-based companies, the company stock that is given to you is as good as cash. आप सिंपली कंपनी को ये बोल सकते हो कि आपको स्टॉक नहीं चाहिए, उसके बेसिस में आपको इक्विवेलेंट कैश चाहिए, तो कंपनी क्या करेगी? कंपनी उस स्टॉक को बेच के आपको जितना कैश होता है उतना कैश आपके अकाउंट में जमा कर देगी. Hence, always take into consideration the yearly total compensation rather than just the base salary. Now, with respect to startups, you should be extremely mindful about ESOPs. Not all company gives, but some of them do. अब ये employee stock options plan ना दो धारी तलवार के जैसे होते हैं. On the one hand, it can be an extremely good instrument to increase your wealth अगर आपके startup ने बहुत अच्छा करा. And on the other hand, it can cost you a huge amount of money and not amount to anything at all. अभी अगर आपको ESOPs चाहिए कंपनी से, then you would have to mandatorily pay a certain amount to the company in order to get those ESOPs. This amount is known as the strike price for that particular company. अगर अभी कंपनी आपके इन ESOPs को बायबैक नहीं करती या IPO नहीं करती है या फिर डूब जाती है, फिर आपको बहुत ही ज्यादा नुकसान हो जाएगा क्योंकि आप इन शेयर्स को कहीं पे बेच नहीं सकते। ऑन दी अदर हैंड ऐसे भी केसेस हुए कि जैसे जैसे कंपनी की वैल्यूएशन इंक्रीज हुई है उस हिसाब से ESOPs का जो प्राइस है वो भी बहुत तेजी से आगे बढ़ा है। फॉर एग्जाम्पल, जैसे फ्लिपकार्ट को वॉलमार्ट ने खरीदा था, रातों रात फ्लिपकार्ट के एक ESOP की वैल्यू डबल हो गई थी। रीसेंट एग्जांपल लेते हैं, जैसे क्रेड ने $140 मिलियन की इन्वेस्टमेंट रेज करी अपने ऊपर, उनका जो वैल्यूएशन था वो 60% इंक्रीज हो गया। एंड विद दिस इंक्रीज इन वैल्यूएशन ऑल द ESOPs that were owned by everyone increased by a factor of 60% overnight. Hence, ESOPs can definitely be a serious mechanism with which you can create substantial wealth. In fact, मैं बहुत लोगों को ऐसे जानता हूं who have become millionaires just because they were a part of a high growth startup from the very beginning. On the other hand, in case of big product based companies, since they have already surpassed this phase of high growth, more often than not आपके पास जो stocks होंगे वो इस तेजी से grow होने का potential नहीं रखते हैं। तो ultimately अगर आपको किसी startup से offer मिलता है और उस offer letter में ESOPs mention नहीं होता है, first and foremost, go back to the startup and ask for ESOPs because you are taking a risk going into a startup and you should be rewarded for the risk that you are taking. On the other hand, अगर ESOPs है mentioned आपके offer letter में, तो आपको दो चीजें करनी है। First and foremost, try to understand if the company has traditionally done any buybacks. अगर तो कंपनी ने पहले बायबैक कर रखा है, then the chances are high कि in the future as well the company will definitely buy your shares back. Second, जो आपको जानना चाहिए वो है what are the plans for the company's IPO. अगर तो कंपनी का IPO हाल फिलहाल में होने के प्लान्स ज्यादा है फिर तो ठीक है, बट अगर कंपनी का कोई क्लियर कट प्लान है नहीं, गोल है नहीं टू IPO, then more often than not the chances are very high कि आपके जो ये ESOPs है that will not materialize into anything tangible, और वो कंप्लीटली जीरो कंसिडर करना चाहिए अगर आप उस ऑफर को किसी और ऑफर के साथ कंपेयर करते हैं। और अगर सब कुछ सही रहता है देन ऑलवेज आस्क फॉर द स्ट्राइक प्राइस ऑफ द करस्पॉन्डिंग ESOPs, क्योंकि उस स्ट्राइक प्राइस के अकॉर्डिंग ही आपको आपके कंपनी को पैसे देने पड़ेंगे टू एक्चुअली गेट द ESOP। ऑन द अदर हैंड, एक बिग प्रोडक्ट बेस्ड कंपनी में आपको कुछ पैसे नहीं देने पड़ेंगे, आपको कंपनी ऐसे ही शेयर्स दे देगी। However, in case of ESOPs, you would have to pay some amount of money to the company in order to get them. Now we will talk about the differences in work-life balance, work culture, the type of work that is expected out of employees in these companies, the exposure that you will get. Most of the differences in these startups as well as big product-based companies stem from the fact that startups are in its growing phase, and they are working tirelessly and extremely hard to capture as much market as possible. On the other hand, an established product-based company has already captured a lot of market and is established for that particular reason. As a result of which, an established company can definitely afford to fail. However, a startup absolutely cannot. For example, Amazon ने Fire phone निकाला था, गूगल ने गूगल स्पेक्स निकाले थे, दोनों ही प्रोडक्ट ने अच्छा नहीं करा था, दोनों ही प्रोडक्ट डिसकंटिन्यू हो गए, बट इन दोनों प्रोडक्ट के लॉन्च से देयर वाज ऑलमोस्ट नो प्रॉब्लम दैट हैड हैपेंड in Google as well as Amazon. However, on the other hand, just imagine अगर ये दो इंडिपेंडेंट स्टार्टअप्स होते जिनके प्रोडक्ट लॉन्चेस फेल कर गए होते, then almost certain ये होता कि ये दो स्टार्टअप्स बंद हो जाते। Hence, in case of a startup, the time to market is immensely important because faster they reach the market, more consumers they will be able to attract, more consumers they will be able to attract, more consumers they will be able to retain, and hence grow. In stark contrast, an established product-based company, this is not even a criteria for most use cases. In these companies, quality is preferred over quantity. इन्हीं सब चीजों के वजह से आप कई बार ये नोटिस करोगे कि बिग प्रोडक्ट-बेस्ड कंपनीज में जनरली ब्यूरोक्रेसी काफी ज्यादा होती है, जनरली प्रोसेसर्स को बहुत सलीके से फॉलो किया जाता है। ऑन द अदर हैंड, इन केस ऑफ स्टार्टअप्स, more often than not you will feel that there is no bureaucracy at all. Mostly because of this, in case of startups you will be wearing a lot of hats. आप सिर्फ सॉफ्टवेयर डेवलपमेंट नहीं करोगे, इनफैक्ट आप सॉफ्टवेयर डेवलपमेंट तो करोगे, उसके साथ साथ आप QA का रोल भी निभाओगे, यू विल बी द डेवऑप्स इंजीनियर एज वेल. You will be doing product management, program management, and much more. However, in case of these big product-based companies, there are individual specialized teams that take care of these things. सो ये बोलना काफी ठीक रहेगा कि अगर आप स्टार्टअप में जाते हो तो आपको कंप्लीट लेंथ एंड ब्रेथ ऑफ अ प्रोडक्ट के बारे में आइडिया तो जरूर मिलेगा, बट आप किसी भी एक फंक्शन में स्पेशलाइज नहीं कर पाओगे. On the other hand, in case of a product-based company, established one, you will be able to specialize in a couple of these areas, whichever you are working on. और इसी specialization की वजह से in big established product-based companies, more often than not, you will be able to learn good coding practices, clean coding practices, good designing practices. You will be able to understand what it is to design applications for scale in which millions of people are actually using the system. Here, mind it, I am not talking about established startups like Cred or Flipkart for that matter, because these have sufficient checks and balances at this point in time, as they have captured a lot of market. Hence, in case of startups, there will be a lot of work and you will be working almost all the time. Hence, for most use cases, your work-life balance will suffer. However, in case of most good established product-based companies, because there are so many people involved in the development of the product per se, and because funding is generally not an issue, you will mostly see that the work-life balance is typically better. Typically speaking, अगर हम कोई offer evaluate करते हैं, तो generally हम लोग compensation को देखते हैं और उसी से अपना मन बना लेते हैं. However, I would also urge you to understand the benefits that are provided by each of these companies. In case of established product-based companies, they provide you with relocation bonus, joining bonus, internet reimbursements, wellness reimbursements, work from home reimbursements, travel allowance, free food, and much more, which adds up seriously year over year. तो आपको उनके भी monetary values include करने चाहिए into your decision making. Many a times you must have heard that people say that the brand value of a company does not matter to a person's career. However, I must say that it is definitely true for most use cases, but not always applicable. For example, if you have an offer from a no-name startup or a small startup with an offer from a good established product-based company, then definitely the offer from an established company will open doors for future more opportunities in your way. On the other hand, the experience of working in a startup is definitely invaluable for the startup world, and you will be sought after more if you enjoy working in these scenarios, because their prior experience working in a startup is preferred. I would also urge you, whenever you are getting an offer from a startup and you are evaluating that offer, do understand what the product of the startup is completely. Do understand what kind of people they are targeting with that product, what is the market of that particular product, and what is the market fitment. Do ask these super important questions to the founders of the startup, to the people you have interacted with, because these are super essential to understand whether or not, according to you, the startup will succeed or fail in the future. एंड लास्ट बट नॉट द लीस्ट आता है रिसेशन. अभी रिसेशन आएगा कि नहीं आएगा, और एट दिस करंट मार्केट ट्रेंड वो आएगा तो हाउ अ स्टार्टअप विल रिएक्ट एंड हाउ एन एस्टैब्लिश्ड प्रोडक्ट बेस्ड कंपनी विल रिएक्ट. अगर आपको इसके नुआंसेस के बारे में इफ यू वांट टू नो एंड अंडरस्टैंड, देन कमेंट डाउन बिलो जल्दी. I'll try and make a detailed video around this. In the end, I would say that there is no straightforward answer to this, that which one should prefer. It completely depends upon your preference and personal choice. In both startup as well as established product-based companies, there are plenty of opportunities for you to grow and reach greater heights in your career. If you do love to completely work hands-on on the entire product as a whole and not just software development, understand the business aspect as well, then definitely a startup is the way to go. However, if you want to specialize on software development, if you want to specialize on a particular niche and grow in your career correspondingly, then definitely an established product-based company might be the answer for you. Apart from that, working for an MNC, you do get a sense of job security, you do get a sense of working at an established place where you can learn from peers, where making mistakes are encouraged. In fact, it is told that you should do more and more experiments and fail more, because if you do more experiments, you will definitely fail more and correspondingly succeed even more. This is something that is encouraged in an MNC, which is absolutely not affordable for a startup. I really hope that you like the content. If you did, then smash the like button, subscribe to the channel if you have not already, hit the notification bell, share this video among your friends and peers. That will definitely help the channel a lot. Do comment down below what different kinds of videos you would want me to make. I'll gladly make them. This is your host, Soumyajit, bidding goodbye. Das Vedanya.
You're a superhero.